She was 18 years old, a straight A student, a recent high school graduate celebrating with friends in paradise. Then she vanished. No body, no crime scene, no witnesses willing to tell the truth. For nearly 2 decades, one name became synonymous with mystery, deception, and heartbreak: Natalee Holloway. What really happened on the island of Aruba in May of 2005? And why did it take almost 20 years for the truth to finally emerge? This is one of the most infamous missing person cases in modern history. May 2005. Graduation season. 18-year-old Natalee Holloway had just finished high school in Mountain Brook, Alabama. Friends described her as intelligent, outgoing, and ambitious. Like many graduating seniors, she joined a school-sponsored trip to Aruba to celebrate. More than 100 students traveled to the Caribbean island. The atmosphere was carefree: sunshine, beaches, parties. No one imagined the trip would end in tragedy. For several days, everything seemed normal. Natalee spent time with friends, enjoyed the nightlife, and prepared to return home. But on the final night of the trip, everything changed. On May 30th, 2005, Natalee and her classmates visited a popular nightclub. As the evening progressed, witnesses noticed her talking with a local teenager named Joran van der Sloot. Joran came from a well-known family on the island. He appeared charming and confident. As the night ended, multiple witnesses reported seeing Natalee leave with Joran and two brothers, Deepak and Satish Kalpo. A security camera captured her entering a vehicle. It would be the last confirmed sighting of Natalee Holloway alive. The next morning, her friends boarded their flight home. One seat was empty. Natalee never arrived at the airport. At first, some assumed she had overslept. Maybe she missed the bus. Maybe she stayed with friends. But as the hours passed, panic began to set in. She was gone. Back in Alabama, Natalee's family received devastating news. Her mother, Beth Holloway, immediately flew to Aruba. She wasn't willing to wait. Within hours of arriving, Beth began conducting her own search. She spoke to students, interviewed witnesses, knocked on doors. Eventually, one name kept appearing: Joran van der Sloot. When confronted, Joran claimed he had dropped Natalee off near her hotel. Case closed, or so he hoped. But investigators quickly noticed inconsistencies. His story kept changing, then changing again, and again. Every new version raised more questions. What was he hiding? As pressure mounted, Joran and the Kalpo brothers became the primary focus of investigators. The three young men were arrested multiple times. Each time they provided conflicting stories. One version claimed Natalee left alone. Another suggested she went somewhere else. Then came a different explanation entirely. No two stories matched. Investigators grew increasingly frustrated. Evidence was scarce. Witnesses contradicted each other, and crucial time had already been lost. The search expanded across the island. Police searched beaches, desert terrain, buildings, the ocean. Nothing. No clothing, no personal belongings, no body. It was as if Natalee had vanished into thin air. As weeks turned into months, the case exploded internationally. Major news networks covered every development. Millions of people followed the mystery. Aruba's tourism industry suffered as headlines painted the island as dangerous. Public opinion quickly turned toward Joran van der Sloot. Many believed he knew exactly what happened, but proving it was another matter. Without physical evidence, prosecutors struggled to build a case. Years passed, the investigation stalled, yet the questions never disappeared, and neither did Joran's suspicious behavior. In 2010, 5 years after Natalee vanished, an astonishing development shocked investigators. Joran contacted Natalee's family. He claimed he knew where her body was, for a price. He demanded thousands of dollars in exchange for information. Desperate for answers, the family worked with federal authorities. Money was exchanged. Information was provided, and it was all a lie. The location contained nothing. Joran had fabricated the story. Authorities accused him of extorting a grieving family. The deception only strengthened public suspicion, but before legal proceedings could fully unfold, another shocking event occurred. Just days after the extortion scheme became public, a young woman named Stephanie Flores was found murdered in Peru. The prime suspect? Joran van der Sloot. Investigators discovered evidence linking him directly to the crime. He was arrested and later convicted. For many observers, the conviction seemed to confirm what they had suspected for years. If Joran was capable of murder, what happened to Natalee? Still, no definitive answers emerged. The mystery remained unsolved. For years, rumors surfaced. Alleged witnesses appeared. Confessions came and went. Most proved unreliable. Then, nearly 2 decades after Natalee disappeared, a breakthrough finally arrived. Facing federal charges related to the extortion scheme, Joran entered negotiations with prosecutors. As part of the process, he agreed to provide a full account of what happened. What he described was horrifying. According to his confession, an encounter on the beach escalated violently. He claimed Natalee rejected his advances. An altercation followed. He struck her. After realizing she was unresponsive, he disposed of her body. The details shocked investigators and devastated her family. For the first time, authorities believed they finally had the truth. For Beth Holloway, the confession brought mixed emotions: relief, heartbreak, anger, and sorrow. For nearly 20 years, she had searched for answers. She had endured false leads, media scrutiny, and countless disappointments. Now she finally had an explanation, but one thing remained impossible: bringing Natalee home. Because despite the confession, her remains have never been recovered. The physical evidence that families often rely upon for closure still does not exist. Yet the mystery itself was finally broken. The disappearance of Natalee Holloway became one of the most widely followed missing person cases in American history. It exposed the devastating impact of deception. It demonstrated the pain families endure when answers never come. And it reminded the world how a single night can alter countless lives forever. Even today, Natalee's story continues to resonate because it represents every family's worst nightmare. A loved one leaves and never comes home. But after nearly 2 decades of uncertainty, one thing is now clear. The truth can hide for years, sometimes decades, but eventually it has a way of finding the light. What do you think about this case? Did investigators miss opportunities early in the investigation? Or was the truth impossible to uncover at the time? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed deep dives into real-life mysteries, disappearances, and criminal investigations, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next case.